I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather.
I'm disappointed. I really am disappointed. The thing is that Floyd is what they call an independent contractor. And what happens is that when you become an independent contractor, Skip, if you make $230 million, they give you two checks or a check for $230 million. It is up to you to take out the deduction and make sure state, federal, and whatever else needs to be deducted is paid to the Internal Revenue Service. Floyd, you made $230, and I get it, Skip. I can just imagine getting a check for $230 million. Like, hold on, I ain't see
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We're gonna get through this.
Floyd Mayweather. Just hearing that name used to send chills down your spine. A man who walked into every arena like he already knew the outcome. 50 fights, 50 wins. Not a single blemish on his record. A fortune built in the billions. A personal brand so carefully crafted that it felt bulletproof. He wasn't just a boxer. He was a statement. A living, breathing symbol of what it looks like when talent meets obsession meets absolute self-belief. But something has shifted. And if you've been paying attention lately, you already know what's coming. The cracks aren't small anymore. They're spreading. Tax battles, fighters going unpaid, sketchy cryptocurrency promotions, and now a supposed $42 million Manhattan real estate deal that, when you pull back the curtain, might not exist at all. The man who once made the entire world bow down is starting to look less like a king and more like someone desperately trying to keep the crown from slipping off his head. His upcoming clash with Mike Tyson no longer feels like a celebration of two legends. Feels like a lifeline. A final desperate grab for a massive payday before the spotlight completely moves on. So let's break all of this down, piece by piece, because the full picture is far more shocking than most people realize.
Real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings.
Earlier this year, Floyd Mayweather stepped in front of cameras with a kind of confidence only he can summon and announced what he called the most significant deal of his entire career. Not a fight. Not a sneaker deal. A real estate acquisition worth $42 million right in the heart of Manhattan. 62 apartment buildings. Rent-regulated units. An entire housing portfolio. He presented himself not just as a boxing champion but as a full-blown real estate mogul, a businessman operating at the highest levels of American commerce. The headlines exploded. Social media buzzed. People were genuinely impressed. Because if true, this was Floyd proving once and for all that his financial genius extended far beyond the boxing ring. But then the questions started. Journalists began digging. Property records were examined. And what they found was alarming. According to a detailed investigation by Business Insider, not a single one of those 62 buildings showed any transfer of ownership to Floyd Mayweather. His name appeared nowhere in the official records. The buildings he publicly claimed to own were not registered under him in any legal capacity whatsoever.
And I'm pointing like this because all of them, we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on. You know what I'm doing? All this money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.
And it gets worse. NYC Housing Partnership, the non-profit organization directly connected to those properties, released a statement confirming that they had never been approached, notified, or consulted about any pending sale to Mayweather or anyone representing him. They had zero knowledge of this so-called historic deal. Zero. So the question becomes painfully obvious. Where exactly did $42 million go? Did the deal fall through quietly? Was it never real to begin with? Or was this entire announcement carefully designed to generate headlines and manufacture the illusion of wealth? Now, here's where things take a genuinely strange turn. When reporters pressed Mayweather's team for documentation, for proof, for anything concrete to support these massive claims, his real estate firm arranged a call with a man they introduced as James McNair, one of Floyd's most trusted and well-known longtime business partners. Except something was immediately off. People who actually know James McNair's voice, who have heard him speak publicly on multiple occasions, pointed out that the voice on that call did not match. The tone was different. The cadence was different. The whole thing felt scripted and rehearsed in a way that raised enormous red flags.
But what's so disappointing with me, Skip? Floyd Mayweather has gone through this before. What is it that you don't get? And I'm even more disappointed because you're on Instagram and on Twitter flaunting your opulence. You got bales and bales of money. You might have 30, 40 racks up in front of you. You got Bugattis and Enzo Ferraris and private jets and yacht and you big balling. And you won't cut these people their money? Now, Skip, I believe that he would have taken this fight anyway. It's hard to turn down $200, $300 million, Skip. But it looks to me that a major driving force between him, because I always thought it was Conor that wanted the fight. He wanted the big payday.
Yep.
But deep down, Floyd needed this payday because he got to settle the score. And let me tell you how the IRS works, Skip.
Think about what that means for a moment. When challenged to provide basic evidence for a $42 million deal, the response was to allegedly use someone pretending to be another person entirely. That is not the behavior of a man running a legitimate multi-million-dollar real estate empire. That is the behavior of someone trying to keep a story alive with smoke and mirrors. The entire situation reeks of performance over substance. Was this deal ever real? Was it a collapsed negotiation being dressed up as a completed transaction? Or was it simply a headline manufactured to keep the Mayweather name attached to the word wealth? Whatever the answer, the damage to his credibility is real. And for a man whose brand was built entirely on the image of financial mastery, the damage cuts deeper than any punch ever could.
Back to fight. Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game. I said, okay. I said, fighters fighting, they make $3 million, $4 million, $6 million, $7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million. But I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million?
And this whole real estate episode makes much more sense when you zoom out and look at the broader financial pattern that has been following Floyd Mayweather for years now. Because this is absolutely not the first time his money situation has raised serious eyebrows. Cast your mind back to 2017. The world was counting down to the mega fight between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. It was one of the most commercially hyped sporting events in modern history. Pay-per-view records were about to shatter. And right in the middle of all that anticipation, a very uncomfortable story leaked. Floyd Mayweather, the man who literally named himself Money, the man whose Instagram is essentially a constant slideshow of private jets, stacks of $100 bills, and designer everything, was privately pleading with the IRS for more time to pay his tax debt. The same man publicly drowning in luxury was quietly struggling to settle his obligations to the government. The gap between the image and the reality had never been more visible. But rather than take that as a warning sign, Floyd doubled down on the performance. The private jets kept coming. The Instagram posts kept rolling. The illusion was maintained at all costs.
Around him, how do the lawyers that I'm sure that he employs, the financial people that are probably running his life, telling him to stop spending $1 million a day, how do they not deal with his taxes?
Well, listen, he apparently had a tough time reading the thing, as they say. Like he didn't know what he couldn't read like
that's BS.
Something.
That is BS.
They said something.
Time
like
out.
That.
He is paying. I'm sure he's got a litany of people in his world.
I happen to agree.
Financial management people.
You think so?
How long before he's suing somebody for mismanagement of funds?
Listen,
you know that's happening.
You'd certainly think so. By the way, they announced. I'll get your calls in a second. They did announce the pricing for Mayweather McGregor. $100 for high def, $90 for standard def. So there you go. So it's exactly what the Mayweather Pacquiao.
And the IRS situation was not a one-time stumble. Tax liens against Floyd Mayweather have appeared multiple times across different years. Each instance follows the exact same pattern: extravagant public spending, financial irregularities behind the scenes, and then a sudden urgent need for large amounts of cash to plug the holes. It's a cycle, and once you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. This pattern is precisely why so many people, when they look at the upcoming fight against Mike Tyson, do not see a legend making a triumphant return. They see a man who needs the check. But wait, because there is another chapter in this financial saga that cannot be skipped: the Logan Paul situation. In 2021, Floyd faced YouTuber-turned-boxer Logan Paul in an exhibition match. The fight itself was never going to be a classic. It was entertainment, spectacle, a circus with gloves. And honestly, for what it was, the event generated enormous attention and significant revenue.
Nah, no, he didn't pay me
him at all.
He didn't pay me. I think I won that fight. I think I won. He didn't knock out a YouTuber in 8 rounds.
Floyd's my homie. He's a cool
Well,
dude.
fucking tell him to pay me, bro.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2.
The controversy, however, erupted well after the final bell. Logan Paul went public with a serious allegation. He claimed that Floyd Mayweather had not paid him his full agreed earnings from the fight. Not a small portion. He was claiming a substantial amount of money was simply never delivered. For months, Logan didn't whisper these claims privately. He broadcast them. On podcasts, in interviews, directly on social media, he put it out there for the entire world to hear. He specifically said on record, with millions of people listening, that Floyd owed him money and needed to pay up. He even went as far as threatening legal action, making it crystal clear that this was not a misunderstanding or a minor accounting dispute.
Thank you. Yeah, it's honestly bullshit. Like having people who aren't a professional promotional company control where the money goes is like, we made that mistake. But, you know, it's Floyd Mayweather, so before we fought him, we kind of were willing to do whatever, and now after the fact, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot because he's a scumbag. But now that we know that, and everyone else who fights Floyd should know that, like, don't let him control the money.
Would you ever fight him again under any circumstances?
No, he wanted to. He reached out, and but like,
no.
Yeah.
What about double or nothing?
Yeah, double or nothing. Yeah, I already got nothing, bro. So
Can we get a photo? Sorry, girl.
It was fun though?
Cool. Yeah, of course.
So you're gonna change the way you do business when it comes to boxing now, man?
Yeah. Me and my brother.
Thank you.
Sure, of course, yeah. I gotta go, but.
Thank you so much.
You had fun doing it though?
Oh yeah.
I think we're done, guys.
Now pause and genuinely absorb the weight of that statement. Floyd Mayweather, the man whose entire identity, whose entire personal mythology, whose very nickname is built around the concept of being extraordinarily wealthy, was being publicly accused of not paying someone he owed money to. Not by a rival boxing promoter. Not by some obscure business partner. By a YouTuber who had essentially given Floyd one of the most stress-free, comfortable nights of his professional life. The man walked in, did very little actual work compared to a real professional fight, collected what should have been a straightforward massive payday, and still allegedly couldn't settle his debt to the other participant. That is not the financial behavior of someone operating from a position of genuine abundance.
Ring I'd never seen before. Yo, one time I was like hunkered over and I was like by his hip and he kind of had me in a headlock. Motherfucker opens his glove and puts his hand over my mouth.
Stop you breathing.
So I couldn't breathe. I'd never seen this before. And opposite side of the ref. He knew where the ref was. He knew to cover my mouth. Straight up in the middle of the fight, I'm like, and I get up and I'm like, what the fuck? I just missed 2 breaths. Fact. Smart boxer, you know, that's the guy who's been to the ring before. He's smart. He knows his way in and out. No, I got paid. I got paid. Just not in full. Like, there's a couple million somehow that is just missing. Where did the money go? Floyd said he could afford a Jeff Bezos-sized jet from the money he made from that fight. I ain't got no fucking jet. What the fuck, dude? I'm missing a couple mil. We're gonna find it, bro. I'll see you in court. The art is happening. Just like, walk my way.
When influencers are publicly calling you out for unpaid debts and the entire internet is siding with them over you, your financial reputation has taken a hit that no amount of Instagram cash stacks can ever fully repair. Because reputation, once cracked in this specific way, has a memory. People don't forget being told that Money Mayweather didn't pay his bills. That story lives permanently in the cultural record. And every time a new financial controversy surfaces, people go back and reference it. It becomes part of a pattern. And patterns, especially damaging ones, are what ultimately define a legacy outside the ring.
Everybody in the crypto world is competing with one another, whereas I feel like everybody should be able to choose what they want to choose and go with who they want to go with. I think everybody should work together. And what I always did was I believed in myself before anybody else believed in me.
Then there is the cryptocurrency chapter, and this one has genuinely serious legal consequences attached to it. Over a period of several years, Floyd Mayweather allowed his name, his face, and his massive platform to be used in promoting multiple cryptocurrency projects. Among them were Centra Tech and Ethereum Max, two ventures that ended up completely mired in lawsuits and widespread accusations that investors and fans have been deliberately misled into putting their money into worthless or fraudulent projects. Ordinary people lost real money, and Floyd's name was front and center in the promotions that convinced them to invest.
What's going on? What's happening?
But the most damaging blow came from the Securities and Exchange Commission itself. The SEC formally fined Floyd Mayweather for promoting initial coin offerings without disclosing that he was being financially compensated to do so. In plain language, he was paid to hype up cryptocurrency projects to his millions of followers, and he never once told those followers that he was receiving payment for those promotions. He let them believe he was genuinely endorsing these projects out of personal conviction, when in reality he was simply cashing a check and moving on. For a man who built his entire public persona around being financially sharp, around being the smartest operator in any room when it came to money and business, getting formally sanctioned by the SEC for deceptive financial promotion is a deeply damaging and profoundly ironic contradiction.
Celebrity endorsements. One was DJ Khaled, hilarious, and Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And he posted on his Instagram him taking this what do you call it? The Centra card?
Centra card.
The Centra cards. And going and purchasing something with his Bitcoin at a store.
Yeah.
He did that knowing that it didn't work.
Floyd Mayweather doesn't know anything that's going on, really. So, like,
we all know that.
Yeah.
The guy can't read,
Yeah.
How much did you guys pay him?
Like $1 million.
He took that knowing or not caring if it worked?
It was just knowing, not knowing, right? Like, they didn't care. He does a million promotions like that. It was basically you speak to his manager. Yeah. He's like, this is Floyd's price. And you send the money over. Yeah. The manager makes his little cut from it. Mm-hmm. And he just says, what do you want me to say and what do you want me to do?
Okay.
Right? And you just basically...
For someone who spent decades telling the world he was the best businessman in boxing, the scoreboard outside the ring is looking increasingly complicated. Tax problems, unpaid collaborators, SEC sanctions, unverifiable real estate announcements. These are not isolated incidents. They are chapters in the same book. And that book is telling a very different story than the one Floyd has been narrating about himself for years. All of which brings us to the main event, literally. Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in 2026. On the surface, this sounds like the greatest exhibition matchup anyone could possibly imagine. Two of the most iconic names in the entire history of boxing. Two men who transcended their sport and became genuine global cultural legends, finally sharing the same ring.
Tyson, if there were some pre-arrangement for this fight, Tyson's animosity, well documented towards Floyd. Any chance that he's going in there and saying, hey, screw all, I don't care what agreement was made, if there was one at all, I want to kill this dude?
Nah. He gonna get a check. Floyd's gonna get a check. And they're gonna get a check that's real huge because of their names.
But when you strip away the marketing language and the perfectly produced hype reels, what you are actually looking at is two athletes who are extraordinarily far past their competitive prime. Mike Tyson is approaching 60 years old. Floyd Mayweather is closing in on 50. Neither man has competed in any serious professional capacity in years. Their bodies have changed fundamentally. The explosive speed is gone. The razor-sharp reflexes are gone. The ability to perform at elite level for sustained rounds has long since faded. The reason this fight is happening has almost nothing to do with sport and almost everything to do with economics. Netflix is involved. Sponsorship money is flowing in from multiple directions. Merchandise, side bets, pay-per-view revenue, ancillary deals across dozens of platforms. The financial ecosystem surrounding this fight is absolutely massive. And Floyd Mayweather, based on everything we have examined today, genuinely needs access to that ecosystem right now.
Floyd Mayweather, why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one. He came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already, and he's talking really bad and nasty to me. And so I was like, God damn! I thought we were friends. He talking great. He's all right.
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that, like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What you talking about? Start talking crazy. Like, kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I told the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Evander Holyfield is reportedly working with Tyson in preparation for this bout. And people who have seen Tyson train say his motivation is authentic and his intensity is as fierce as ever. There is something burning inside Tyson that feels real. He has a point to prove and the hunger to prove it. Floyd, by contrast, continues to operate primarily as a promoter of his own image, more focused on the commercial architecture of the event than on what actually happens inside the ropes when the opening bell sounds. Fans are genuinely divided on this one. Some are excited by the nostalgia and the spectacle of seeing two all-time legends share a ring. Others are watching with openly skeptical eyes, questioning whether what they are about to witness is genuine sport or an extraordinarily expensive piece of theater.